Yeah, we're at Winburn, which is 1,080 hectares in the northern Midlands of Tasmania. So we're about half an hour south of Launceston, which is the main northern city. We're on the confluence of the Nile and South Esk rivers, so on a floodplain basically. And we do mixture of irrigation, cropping and livestock. So I came home in about 1982, back to the farm after working in New South Wales and various places, and farmed with my father for a few years. In subsequent years, my siblings came back, so an elder brother and an elder sister. Over time, we'd been able to increase our land area from that sort of 600 hectares to about sort of 3,500 or something. We had a clearly defined goal to make 3 viable units. In about 2008-9, we decided all at the same time, fortunately, that it was probably time to divide our business. That took about 18 months. It was done very carefully. We had a lot of independent help along the way to keep us on track, because it's a fairly delicate process, as you can imagine. However, we got through that process very, very well, and as a result I still talk to my brother and brother-in-law on a daily basis. We share machinery together, we group finance together, so we've still got a lot of that benefit of working together, I guess, and we're in charge of our own destiny.
My role's changed significantly in the last few years. I really was admin, but Michael's been away a lot, so I've had to step in and take on some extra responsibility with management and working more closely with our employees. I had to sort of really think about how I wanted to work, but lucky to have lots of support in wider family and also agronomists and field staff. And what really struck me when Michael went away is that he carries that around with him, and it's internalised and it's inherent in the decisions he makes and what he does, whereas I had to be much more formalised and write things down and keep different sort of records, because I don't necessarily carry that information around.
It's certainly been an advantage to our business because it's brought some other aspects to the management, I guess. Fiona probably does it a lot better than I do. It's a bit of a sad fact that maybe I'm nearly redundant. In Tasmania we tend to run a lot of enterprises. We've got a very diverse topography, so we've got very different soil types within small areas. So we might have a pivot circle that's got heavy black soil, black cracking clay, right onto a sort of wind-blown sand that's subject to wind erosion. There's a lot of little microclimates around, there's hills and valleys, and so that sort of brings a diversity to itself. There's areas where it's not arable, so we've got to have livestock. And it's really easy to sort of get wound up in this complexity and lose sight of the benefits of simplification, I guess. So in 2011, I was in the fortunate position to be able to apply for a Nuffield Scholarship, and I managed to win one sponsored by GRDC. So that was a fantastic opportunity to travel around the world studying what really interests you and what really makes you tick. I was searching for a way to overcome our management bottleneck. So what I was looking for was ways of reducing complexity, maybe bringing some more systems and protocols into the day-to-day management. The interesting thing I did come across was that most of the managers I saw, people running businesses, were really only running between 3 and 5 enterprises. And to put it into context, last year we were doing nearly 10. If we could get back to 5 or 6 enterprises, it'd be a lot simpler. I mean, we're growing hybrid carrot seed, which is a really specialist crop, but we're not specialists at all, you know. So maybe we're better getting an operator who is a specialist in that area to manage that crop and grow that crop. Maybe there's more synergy. He's going to do a better job of managing it. We'll do a better job of sort of running the rest of what we're trying to do and keeping the business as a focus rather than the day-to-day on-ground stuff as a focus. The strategic decisions are really the key ones, aren't they? And whether it's trying to limit the number of enterprises or radically change what you're doing, that sort of long-term view is very important, and you need a pretty well-defined goal of where you want to head to. And that becomes then your tester to see if you're on the right track. You can always say, well, does this bring us closer to our goal? That's sort of, I guess, how we go about making those strategic decisions.